Hey, floating ghosts. What are they doing? Getting absorbed into Onimusha. Onimusha's back.
So I gotta say, Capcom really like punked my ass with Onimusha, because Onimusha I had been hearing about Onimusha for a really, really long time, but never specific. Just someone somewhere saw something that looked like Onimusha, and then they put out Kunitsugami.
Yes,
which is like Asian inspired with demons, and you also suck in souls in your arm. And
that could have been it.
That's what people fucking thought was Onimusha. Nope, they're also making Onimusha.
Onimusha Way of the Sword. So for 2026, full reboot, right?
You know what's great about Onimusha? This is a game that formerly, the last game was really bad.
Dawn of Dreams?
And I'm not saying that Onimusha 4 Dawn of Dreams was really bad because Yoshinori Ono worked on it. I'm just saying that it was, and he did.
It's a sequel.
It is
they're
a sequel
they're
to
saying
what?
To Dawn of Dreams. Then
Get the f out of here.
Yo, I mean, listen. I have a positive association with Dawn of Dreams, but that's just because I really like Soki in Tatsunoko versus Capcom.
Yeah, that's a weird place to go with that.
He's an awesome character as a guest in that game. And you know what? You know who else is awesome as a crossover? Phoenix Wright and Monster Hunter. I like those characters. They're great.
Those characters are fun.
They're super cool. So, I have nothing but love for Soki. But yeah, no, this is not Samanosuke, right?
Will this win a SIGGRAPH award again for its opening cinematic?
Oh my God. Are we in that world anymore? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I would love to.
They went 3 for 3, man.
Okay,
that was crazy.
But like that was an era where it was like, okay, Square putting out their FMVs, fucking Blizzard putting out their FMVs, Onimusha intro was right up there.
Onimusha came in and like, no, we won it. We mocapped 6 guys. And then for the second one, we mocapped a horse.
Yeah.
And then for the third one, like, take a look at this small film we produced for you.
And I mean, like, literally, like, those were the 3 that were just crushing it. And like, I remember that the Raven in the intro to Warcraft 3 was used to advertise 3D Studio Max. Like, they you know, they were on the cutting edge. I don't know that anyone's gonna be in that space anymore because everyone can do that now. But the fact that you can go back in that Onimusha 3 intro still stands up is hype as hell.
That thing's crazy, man. This one's fucking bananas.
Also, I think between this and then the anime where they're kind of like, it's the guy, it's Samanosuke, but it's not the actor, is where you can kind of like see like, okay, that was a mistake getting real people and real faces that have legal.
That was a massive fucking mistake.
Right.
And that was a huge problem.
Yeah, Jean Reno, that's fun and all, but then legally we have to jump through hoops every time we want to release something.
Massive stupid problem.
We will never be doing this again. We won't be doing this. We've made a mistake. And hey, look, it seems like fucking Judgment learned the lesson a little too late, you know, with Johnny's and all that bit.
Yeah, we'll get there. Should we just get there right now?
Go for it.
With Another Century? Because RGG showed off Another Century, which is their new RGG game that takes place in
Project Century,
Taisho era Japan, Imperial Japan.
Another Century, some mecha shit.
And it's like, hey, you know what's fucking dead? Judgment. That shit's fucking so dead, bro. Get out of my face with that Judgment shit.
Let's try again with another sister franchise then.
Yeah.
But there needs to be a franchise that is the action one at all times, right? Yeah.
It's very interesting that Another Century, Project Century, my mistake, features like huge amounts of violent murder in its action combat.
I think they've established enough with like, I guess the world of what is now Ichiban's setting going off in its own direction, that they can just create a whole brand new thing now, and this will be like 2 offerings per every other
Ichiban,
year.
Like, sucked Kiryu and Majima into his goofball nightmare dimension.
Now, wasn't there? So, what was the time period of the other spin-off games they did with like, if in the past?
Well, do you mean like
RGG games? RGG games set like in the past. Or
okay, so in the past it was like the fucking Warring States era.
Okay.
Like fucking, I don't know, 16, 17. I'm not super familiar with that. What years those were. But like Yakuza games take place in current year of release. Like they always take place either the year you're in or 6 months from now.
Okay.
Then there was the 80s. And then Kenzan was 1600 and Ishin was 1800.
Okay.
So
okay.
old timey. Taisho era, which is 1915, is definitely new.
Okay. Did we get a date on this release?
No.
Okay.
But it'll be out in 2 weeks.
Wait, so, and then when's Pirate Majima coming? Like what?
February.
Oh.
It would not be impossible for Another Century to come out this year.
Project Century.
Fuck.
You keep saying Another Century, and I'm like, are you
wanting to say Another
I'm like,
Century?
are you talking about Gundam and or FromSoft like Mecha
Century
series? Okay, all right. All right, hold on. Sorry, quick break. BRB.
Oh, good. I gotta pee.
1 second. Emergency guests.
Emergency guest.
Emergency guest. Susie.
Hello.
Hi.
Thanks for having me on 2 hours and 14 minutes in.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us today, Susie Sphere Hunter. What do you want to talk about?
Susie has kicked open the door and forced her way in and has opinions.
Yes.
What's going on?
Yes. I'm really excited about the new Onimusha video game because there hasn't been a new game since 2006, and the last one was indeed not very good.
Yes.
If you guys want a quick catch up,
yes.
Onimusha 1 comes out. It's fantastic. Everybody
So good.
loves it. Capcom's like, oh, we made our own Kurosawa like horror movie, Throne of Blood kind of tribute game. What do we do next? Onimusha 2 comes out. It's quite possibly one of the greatest adventure games ever made, with like 17,000 branching paths that are all fully voice acted, and it's insane. It didn't sell as well, but whatever. But they keep that going. They keep the Hollywood, the film cinematic.
Well, you know why that didn't
going.
sell so good, Susie? Because that actor was dead.
Yeah, which, by the way, that's the reason we're never going to play that game ever again on a brand new console, because his estate will not release the rights to his face, which really sucks.
Okay. It's not a salty Johnny's style Judgment situation.
No, they hired a dead actor to play that character.
Okay.
Yeah, which is a little strange. And by the way, I have some kind of observation that might align with something like that for the new game, but I think I'm wrong, but I'm going to put it out there anyway. Anyway, Onimusha 3 comes out. I don't think it's sold very well. I like it or whatever. It's got Jean Reno in it. I'm sure you guys.
Yeah,
I love Jean Reno, man.
He's got the nunchucks. Frenching it up.
Yeah, Frenching it up. Historically, a very funny statement from Inafune. He was like, "Oh, Onimusha 2 didn't sell well because we didn't have a Western actor in it. Oh, Onimusha 3 didn't sell well because there were too many actors in it." And then Dawn of Dreams comes out. It is a colossal failure. Nobody plays it. Nobody buys it. And he goes, Onimusha 4, Dawn of Dreams did not sell well because there were too many actors. Or there weren't enough actors.
There weren't enough actors. Yes.
There weren't enough.
Right. That genius, Keiji Inafune.
Fans of the Onimusha series have come to have feelings about actors, and that's the quality metric for the game. Yes.
Yes, which listen, I have I've made an observation about this new trailer. Anyway, the new trailer gets shown. I think it looks fucking amazing. I don't know how you guys feel.
Don't give a fuck how it looks. Onimusha rules, man.
I
It's
love
fucking awesome.
shit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just taking a second because I woke up today and didn't expect to have a new reason to have feelings about Inafune, but here we are. Like another day, another fucking KG. Like, oh my god. All right.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
hey, Soki was cool though, right? Was Soki cool? I felt like Soki was cool.
in Tatsunoko.
Cool.
He could do the 1, 2, 3
sure.
/Esen system.
I'm just not the biggest fan of the camera system in Dawn of Dreams. Okay, it's like a weird, like, centered perspective camera and not fixed camera. Whatever.
So,
blah, blah,
like,
blah.
Susie, you and I are like survival horror, like fixed camera diehards, but I really have to point out, like, it's weird that a better camera, like an objectively better camera, played way worse with Onimusha's system.
Yeah, which you would think wouldn't be the case because Onimusha like has tank controls as well, and like you don't really think like, oh, I'm gonna knife only Resident Evil. Like that's not generally how you want to play Resident Evil. But they were just like, fuck it, you're gonna sword only Resident Evil, and it like works perfectly.
I mean,
know?
I played the version I played. I played it without the tank controls. Like I just stick to run in direction.
That's fine.
Version.
And it
works perfectly.
It was going to be a nightmare to like action through slow rotation. Like,
no, man, you get really good at it.
So no, you can say that the running is supposed to be awkward when you're supposed to be afraid, and when zombies and let's be, you know what, zombies and dinosaurs, right? Scary. They're chasing you, and you're too full of fear to get your left and your right fucking foot over each other. So fine, but you're a samurai man slashing with perfect timing to survive. Come the fuck on.
Okay, 1. Onimusha 1 is a horror game. It's a survival horror game. You just happen to be a samurai. 2,
Yes.
Dino Crisis 2 has tank controls, and it is the least scary game you will ever play in your life.
True. That game has a dodge button and it works surprisingly well.
Oh my god.
Whatever it came out. I don't know if you guys watched my Onimusha 1 retrospective, but I actually complained about that exactly. Like for some reason, when you rotate Samanosuke, he moves like a snail. Like he's so slow to turn. And I rationalized it as like, oh well, he's wearing a lot of like heavy samurai armor, right? But then when you hold R1 to lock onto an enemy, he moves at the speed of light.
So
and can like trickster dodge around.
Yeah, I mean the
enemies,
Esen slash,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
Is that, by the way, is that dodge button you're talking about in Dino Crisis 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, the super actiony one that I didn't play yet. Yeah.
You
okay.
have to.
You have to.
So when you do play it, you have to actually turn on dodging in the options menu.
Man.
It's not on by default. Because video games
Now
from
listen,
2000.
You're also talking to the person. I was fucking backstepping in Silent Hill 1 to narrowly avoid the
hell
fucking
yeah.
boss spikes on
you
that
have a
roof.
sickness in
I
your
play
brain,
footsies with tank controls. I can do it. I'm telling you, I've done it.
Sure, yeah.
But
my question is, did you use the guard function in Silent Hill 2? Ever?
Did I? I don't remember if I did. I remember.
I don't think many people know that you can actually block in Silent Hill 2, and it's fucking weird.
I don't remember if I did. As someone who watched the LP will have to tell me. But I know in 3, I went in with that fucking samurai sword.
Yeah.
In 3, I went all the way in. That shit was the hype as hell.
Did you kill the final boss with the
Absolutely. Katana battle the whole
good.
way.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
You got that infinite SMG. Yeah, good job. Anyway. Anyway.
Okay.
Onimusha, Way of the Sword. I was watching the trailer, right? And I was like, oh, Capcom's doing a lot of remakes. Like, they kind of just put out, I mean, it was 5 years ago at this point, which is fucking insane. They just put out HD Onimusha 1. But I was like, that doesn't have to stop them from the ground up remaking it. We've got like RE4 remake, and original RE4 is perfectly fine and right there. So I was watching the trailer and I was like, oh, this guy kind of reminds me of Samanosuke, but he doesn't. It's not Takeshi Kaneshiro. The gauntlet is like full gold, which is like the level 3 gauntlet at the end of Onimusha 1. But there were like I don't know if you guys noticed, but the real Onimusha heads in the chat would have noticed that the final enemy that he fights in that trailer is actually
the who?
the first boss
The who?
in
The
oh sorry the Oni Nutters.
Thank
That's
you.
what I meant to say.
Thank you.
Oni Nutters.
Come on.
Final,
The fuck are we doing here?
the mush heads, yeah. The mush heads. Yeah, the final enemy that he kills in the trailer is the first boss of Onimusha 1. So I was kind of like,
okay.
I was kind of like, oh shit, is this a remake? I have no clue. And I read the press release and I Control F'd everything. Like I typed in remake, remaster, reimagining, and nothing came up. So I was kind of like, oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
But I did find out that the game takes place in Kiyomizu Dera, which is a completely different castle in Tokyo from the Game 1 location, which is Gifu Castle.
Okay.
Also known as Inabayama Castle. So it's not a remake. It might be a reboot. I think some people were saying that it's a sequel.
Did I see something about
Dawn of Dreams?
Did I see something about Musashi? I saw people discussing Miyamoto Musashi or something like that, and I'm not sure if that was just out of nowhere or.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too, because he's kind of got that look, right?
Way of the Sword.
So far. Yeah, Way of the Sword.
It does lean in that direction as well.
The one thing I'll send you guys a screenshot. How familiar are you two guys with Kurosawa movies?
What have I seen? I think Seven Samurai.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And then Yojimbo and stuff. Yeah.
I don't know. I might be off base here. I'm gonna send you a screenshot. The main character of this game kind of looks like Toshiro Mifune.
That absolutely is Toshiro Mifune. 100%.
Kind of worried, honestly, because it's like, okay, it's gonna be great, sure, but what happens if I want to play this on PlayStation 7 and
don't buy it on Steam so they can't take it away from you.
Well, first we need. So okay, Capcom reaches out to the Mifune estate and gets his likeness input and never learns a single fucking lesson. Is what we find out here. That would be really cool. I like that energy. That type of protagonist as well is not. You don't see that often, especially like video games, like the brash, loud kind of fucking kind of samurai man, you know?
Yeah.
Mugen. Very cool.
For sure. I believe the Onimusha anime is like that main character is like very obviously supposed to be Toshiro Mifune. And like I don't know if it's the same character in this game.
Musashi is from the Netflix show. Okay, I see. Yeah. Got it.
So
okay.
I think it's pretty exciting, but I feel like maybe if that is the case, like they might have trouble in the future. But I will say also another dead actor, which is kind of strange. But also, stop doing that. I will say I am very excited because at the very end of the trailer, it seems like he's struggling with becoming a demon, which is something I've always wanted out of this franchise. I don't know how you guys have ever felt about that. Like every Onimusha protagonist is like, oh, this is really cool. I could kill every demon. And I'm so cool.
I'm super strong and there's no downside at all.
There's no downside at all. And I feel like I just hope that they explore that more.
Let's spend more time exploring that and less time exploring a terrible second playable character. Dear God, I can't speak to the others, but at least in Onimusha 1, it was not fun switching at the end. Like she could do so much less, and I love more than one playable character, but like she just felt like an incomplete kind of thought.
That's because she's the guest character in the second, third, like Sherry or Ada or whoever. Because it's a Resident Evil game, you see.
Okay, but instead of like running from fucking evil men trying to kill you and hiding under tables, like you're meant to fight, but not really. Like, you
Makes a little less sense for an action game.
you fight, but you fight badly, and you don't internalize that as like don't fight, But you quickly realize after dying quickly, you're like, oh well, I'm bad at this, but I have a lot of the same functions, just not the complete set,
Yeah, you can dodge into the enemies and like flip over them and then one hit kill them.
Right.
But it doesn't always happen every time. So it's a little busted. It doesn't come out every single time, which kind of sucks. But anyway, I mean, the gameplay in the new game looks really cool. I don't know if you guys paid attention to it, but I don't know. It kind of looks a little Soulsy, a little Souls-like.
I would not
like,
be surprised if Capcom wants that.
That would make a lot of sense. Yeah.
I'll be honest. I think it is cool, and I feel like in the culture of video games, it makes sense to make the game about absorbing souls, a Souls-like game.
Yeah.
But as you guys know, that already exists, and it's called Neo.
It does.
I already played that game, and I don't want
the
identity of Onimusha.
Capcom did, like, yes, there absolutely is Neo with the souls and the samurai theme, but Capcom never got its deep down, right?
Mm-hmm.
That never happened.
True.
They were trying.
And at the same time, I played Neo 1 and Neo 2, and in Capcom games, typically you would, go through an area and maybe fight a boss and then get a new weapon. Whereas in Neo, you kill any default enemy and they vomit a bunch of fucking bullshit all over the floor.
Yes.
Making those very different experiences.
Also, the grave in front of the first enemy you fight is glowing purple and has the coolest shit in the game, but the player ghost is very hard, so you just get detoured into fighting that for half an hour, and never mind the rewards of the current mission.
And since this game is not made by Itsuno, I don't think they're going to have some kind of bizarre like multiplayer feature that isn't multiplayer.
Asymmetrical, ghost play.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to go somewhere, but then it went nowhere. It was so weird.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about, to change topics ever so slightly, how do you guys feel about the future of Devil May Cry now that...
I feel that there is a non-zero chance that Kamiya may direct Devil May Cry 0, and that's really funny.
I think that would be fantastic.
I'm happy for anything to exist in that franchise, be that a 0 Sparta, be that a 1 remake, be that a 6, or a Ladies' Night. I don't care. That's all cool. And I also think that, if that Netflix anime is actually pretty fucking good, there will be some current renewed vigor to see some more, right? Although currently there's some weird shit happening on Spotify where like Bury the Light got like
I saw
pulled
that
down or something.
I think that's somebody making a cover and abusing Spotify,
and then the wrong version dropped in.
Replace the original.
I think so. But yeah, no, but I do think the anime coming out is, you can do something with that. That could be cool. The thing is of course, when the man leaves, who are you handing that franchise to, right? Is it just, okay, Kamiya, we're going to your Dante? Because didn't he have a couple things to say about how he thought Dante was a different type of character?
Oh, he's a totally different character.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so his interpretation on things, like, I don't feel like Kamiya's the type of person who'd be like, he's like, I've got my idea of what this should be, and I think he'd kind of want to almost like bend it more towards that than keep what we've got going,
I'm kind of hoping that he applies his version of Dante to Sparta, though, because
that could
Sparta
be
is
interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. If you really think about it, like I think originally he wanted Dante to be British, and if you're playing a Sparta game, it's going to be in the past. He's going to be like, like, what is English? Oh, it's this British shit, and he'll sound British. And also, Kamiya, he's been directing, or not directing, but like overseeing Bayonetta for like the past couple of years. And Bayonetta's a very like rustic looking kind of game. And, I feel like it would be an easy kind of transition there to apply that stuff to Sparta.
I can imagine a world where he's like, I kind of want to work on my own ideas, and that's gone in a different direction. And I have a lot of that I'd like to focus on that's over here. But I could just as easily see him being like, oh, well, it's kind of like a homecoming, you know, like Itsuno-san left, and now I have some ideas, and it's an honor to go from that to Bayo, and now back to the like. I could see both kind of directions happening, but either way, not for after he's done with his current babies getting all the attention.
Yeah,
you know,
I can also see like being plenty of people who worked on DMC5 that would be willing to step up as the new director.
Absolutely. Like
sure,
that is a full team of very talented people besides Itsuno that are still around there.